The summer of 2024 marked a turning point in global trade, as new routes and partnerships began to reshape the very map of Eurasian commerce. At the Apron dry port near Tehran, the departure of the first freight train bound for China signaled the official launch of the China-Kazakhstan-Turkmenistan-Iran rail corridor, a vital new artery in China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative. This moment was more than a ceremonial milestone. It was the culmination of years of planning, negotiation, and infrastructure development. This route isn't just about speed, it's a symbol of a shifting world order, where connectivity is power, and nations are increasingly defined by their ability to link markets and people across continents. The railway offers a rapid, land-based alternative to congested maritime routes, slashing delivery times between China and the Persian Gulf to just 15 days. For businesses, this means faster access to markets, reduced costs, and greater reliability in supply chains. Cargo volumes surged by 31% in the first 11 months of 2024, proving immediate demand for this new pathway. The corridor is already attracting attention from logistics companies and exporters eager to capitalize on its efficiency. The project's success relies on deep international cooperation, with regular meetings to harmonize customs, boost train speeds, and implement digital tracking. These efforts are essential to ensure seamless movement of goods across multiple borders and regulatory systems. Iran, with Chinese support, is electrifying and double-tracking nearly 1,000 kilometers of rail, aiming to triple freight capacity and transform into a continental logistics hub. This massive upgrade is expected to create new jobs and stimulate regional economies. Major investments are pouring into key nodes like Apron Dry Port, blending capital, technology, and political will. These hubs are being equipped with state-of-the-art facilities to handle the growing volume and complexity of transcontinental trade. This is the new Iron Silk Road, built on steel, containers, and strategic ambition. It's a vision of a more connected future, where the flow of goods and ideas can reshape entire regions for generations to come. For decades, the Malacca Strait has been China's trade lifeline, and its Achilles heel. Over 80% of China's maritime trade, including vital energy imports, passes through this narrow, vulnerable channel. The China-Iran Railway offers a direct, high-capacity land bridge to the Middle East, bypassing maritime chokepoints and reducing exposure to naval blockades. This overland route is a strategic imperative, insulating China's trade from U.S. naval dominance and providing greater control and predictability. Rail cuts transit times from over a month by sea to just 2 weeks, transforming supply chains for time-sensitive goods. Reduced inventory and insurance costs make rail a compelling alternative for many businesses. The Malacca Strait will remain important, but its singular hold on China's trade is fading. The Iron Silk Road is quietly redrawing the map of global commerce. The China-Iran Railway could disrupt the global oil trade, long dominated by supertankers and sea routes. While the corridor's initial focus is containers, its potential for transporting oil and gas is strategically vital for both Beijing and Tehran. For China, a land-based route for Iranian energy means greater security, bypassing vulnerable sea lanes. Specialized tanker trains or parallel pipelines could create a secure, sanction-proof conduit for oil. For Iran, this direct land route to its biggest customer is an economic lifeline, sidestepping Western sanctions and shipping restrictions. A major overland route could even create a separate Eurasian energy market, less tied to global benchmarks like Brent or WTI. Trade along this corridor may increasingly use local currencies, challenging the dollar's dominance in energy transactions. The China-Iran corridor is more than logistics. It's a shift in the power dynamics of global energy. The China-Iran Railway is the backbone of a new geopolitical alignment, an emerging bloc of China, Iran, Russia, and North Korea. This informal alliance, driven by shared opposition to Western dominance, is building parallel trade routes, financial systems, and security arrangements. The railway physically links key members, enabling trade and cooperation beyond the reach of Western sanctions. Russia and Iran are also investing in a north-south corridor from St. Petersburg to the Persian Gulf, further integrating their economies. These projects are the building blocks of a new Eurasian order, with economic interdependence deepening strategic trust. The alliance extends to military cooperation, intelligence sharing, and joint exercises, strengthening collective resilience. The rise of this axis challenges the unipolar world that followed the Cold War, signaling a shift toward multipolarity. The China-Iran Railway stands as a symbol of this new reality, where infrastructure is a tool of statecraft and power. The China-Iran Railway is a flagship of the Belt and Road Initiative's Southern Corridor, now a critical path to the Middle East. As the Northern Corridor through Russia faltered after the Ukraine conflict, attention and investment shifted south. Westbound shipping on the northern route plummeted, making the Southern Corridor through Iran the new focal point for Eurasian transit. For China, this is a strategic victory, showcasing the BRI's adaptability and its ability to execute complex multinational projects. The railway pulls Central Asian nations and Iran deeper into China's economic orbit, solidifying its role at the heart of Eurasia. Iran, meanwhile, is leveraging its position as a transit hub to overcome isolation and integrate into the global economy. The railway is not just a BRI project for Iran, it's a pillar of national development and a vision for a connected future. The China-Iran Railway is not just a transportation project, it's reshaping regional ambitions and triggering a wave of strategic countermoves across Eurasia. Neighbors like Kazakhstan see the corridor as a chance to extend links all the way to Turkey and the European Union, envisioning a vast web of Eurasian infrastructure that operates independently of traditional maritime powers and reshapes the balance of influence. Turkey's bid to join BRICS signals a broader realignment, as regional powers seek alternatives to the Western-led order and look for new partnerships that promise greater autonomy and economic opportunity. The West is responding by investing heavily in the Middle Corridor, a route that bypasses both Russia and Iran, aligning with Western interests and offering a strategic alternative for global trade. China, ever pragmatic and forward-thinking, invests in both the southern and middle corridors, hedging its bets and ensuring it maintains influence across all major routes, regardless of shifting alliances. This competition has made Eurasia a battleground for connectivity, with nations like Kazakhstan, Georgia, and Turkey being actively courted by rival powers eager to secure their cooperation and access to key infrastructure. The China-Iran Railway has accelerated these trends, forcing countries to make critical choices about their economic and strategic futures, and pushing them to reconsider old alliances. The result is a dynamic scramble for connectivity, with the map of global trade being redrawn in real time, and the future of Eurasia's economic landscape hanging in the balance. The inauguration of the China-Iran Railway marks not just a new era, but a bold reimagining of how nations connect and compete on the world stage, where global trade is increasingly shaped by land corridors and strategic alliances, not just by the dominance of sea routes. Iron Silk roads, energy pipelines, and digital cables are forging a new map of global interaction, challenging old hierarchies and redrawing the boundaries of influence. As efficiency and capacity grow along these routes, the corridor is set to become a major conduit for goods, energy, and information, linking China, Iran, and a host of neighboring countries. Integration with other networks like the ambitious North-South Transport Corridor could create a vast, interconnected Eurasian system, increasingly insulated from Western pressure and external shocks. Yet, competition between rival corridors and the ongoing need for stable, multilateral agreements will ultimately define the pace and shape of Eurasian integration. The West, meanwhile, will continue to promote alternative routes and partnerships, ensuring a fragmented but resilient global system where no single corridor dominates and supply chains remain adaptable. The China-Iran Railway stands as a powerful symbol of a multipolar world, where nations invest in infrastructure to secure strategic autonomy and future prosperity. These new lines on the map are not just railways. They're the evolving contours of the 21st century world order, defined by connectivity, ambition, and the relentless drive to shape the future.